Neva is a city filled with rich culture and opportunity. Situated around the shores of the Democratic Republic of Congo's Lake Tumba and along the Uribu Channel, Neva will span a total of 200 square miles once fully developed.
While the Democratic Republic of Congo is known for its mining and abundant natural resources, the swampy and forested lands of Neva are void of any profitable mining sites. So, as a mainly agricultural city, Neva's main exports will include palm oil, Robusta coffee, and cassava. These three products alone will bring in close to $1 billion per harvest, creating a stable economy and jobs for the majority of the population. With just over 10,240 acres of land, the palm oil plantations will yield 93,286 tons of palm oil per harvest, with the global price for palm oil being around $666 per ton, and the demand for the product strong, if not rising. With the demand for Robusta coffee rising due to new social trends, there will be 7,680 acres of coffee plantation, half in the sun and half in the shade. While sun produces a bigger yield, shade provides a better quality bean. The plantations will produce 12,288,000 pounds of coffee a harvest at approximately $1 per pound. Cassava, the third largest source of food carbohydrates in the tropics, will be the last cash crop for Neva. With 5,120 acres of land, the plantations will yield 284,416 tons of root, with the average price for cassava products being $56. All of these products will be grown and harvested on the western outskirts of the city, and then transported to processing facilities outside of the main downtown. Included in the agricultural section is 1 square mile for livestock and food crops to provide sustenance for the immediate population. Due to the prominence of a biking culture in the region and underdeveloped infrastructure, transportation will be based around railways, buses, and small roads. Not only will this reduce pollution, but also allow consideration for the vast majority of the population that doesn't own a car. 18 miles of railway will run around the agricultural district and then into the industrial and municipal sectors. Single track on the left side of the river to pick up and transfer agricultural products, and double track on the right side to continue moving the processed products and some passengers up to the nearby city of Mbandaka, which has an airport to further distribute our products and collect imports. The railway will cost around $36 million. To connect the west side of the city to the east, there will be 3 bridges to cross the rivers. The bridges will have 1 lane for vehicles and a railroad track. They will also be made to withstand the flooding that happens often in this region. The bridges will be made of steel with a concrete deck for maximum support and stability, while having minimum support under the roadway and minimum road depth so that the water can easily flow under and through the bridge. These bridges will cost around $12 million to construct.
To accommodate the population that will have to travel to their workplace, 42 miles of paved road with a bike lane will connect the residential areas with the main plantations and city spaces. The roads will cost around $126 million. In addition, an environmentally friendly bus system will be put in place. Initially, Neva will start with 50 electric buses, which will cost around $20 million. They will run to and from residential areas, in cities, and in the industrial sector.
The industrial sector will include facilities for processing, packaging, and storing the crops harvested, power and water buildings, and much more.
How will the city harness the power needed to run all of these facilities? The city will run on a hybrid of hydropower, solar power, and natural gases. With our goal of being a clean, environment-friendly city, most of the energy will come from renewable resources. 40% hydropower, which costs $1,500 to $6,000 per kilowatt. 30% solar power, with each panel costing between $7 and $9 per watt. And the remaining 30% will come from natural gas in a plant that only costs $900,000 per megawatt to install. While we are trying to create a prosperous and clean city, Neva will still feel like a Congolese city. The main religions there are Roman Catholic, Islam, Protestant, indigenous beliefs, and Kimbangwist, so religious buildings will be provided for all denominations. And instead of a mall and supermarket, there will be marketplaces in the cities to exchange goods and services.
As a humid city with plenty of water resources, Fishing will play an important role in both the cultural and economic aspect. Lake Tumba consists of over 114 species of fish and other seafood, and although not a main export, this can provide an adequate supply for Neva as well as nearby areas. Seafood will be sold mainly through markets located at various points throughout the city.
The city will have a public bank for its citizens to hold their money.
There will be one main hospital in the Wright City Center to care for sick people battling disease or for grave emergencies. It can greatly reduce the death rate and increase the life expectancy of Neva. We will also put a small clinic on the outside of the residential area on the left, so that people can get care close to home without going to the main hospital in the center of the city. Neva City Hall will be located in one of the main city centers that we have, and it's a governmental institution that will contain officials connected to the federal government, and there people can get information about applying for citizenship or other things pertaining to the government.
Neva will house its police department in the rightmost city area, while the prison will be held in the northwestern city area by the farmlands. For emergencies, a fire department will be located in the left city.
For the initial population of 25,000 people, Neva will consist of 6 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools. These will be located close to the city and residential areas. There will be a small electric bus system that will provide transportation for children who live more than a mile away from school. In any community, proper cleaning and disposing of wastewater is a must. In Neva, because the river divides the city in half, we will have a water treatment plant on either side in order to make this process more efficient. These will work to sanitize water from bathrooms, sinks, and other places. This clean water will then be released into large bodies of water like Lake Tumba. Sewage piping will need to run through all neighborhoods, cities, and industrial areas. The estimated cost of piping is $200 million.
The excessive amounts of rainfall calls for a system that provides proper regulation. This is why the drainage system along streets is important. It will exist along almost all main and small roads and would cost approximately $20 million. The drains will clear the streets and carry the water back to Lake Tumba. There will be 2 water purification plants which will obtain water from 2 sources, one from the aquifer underground and one from the lake or river nearby. We are adding 2 water treatment centers so that if the city expands, there will be enough water to get to all the houses in an efficient way. As of right now, people in Africa only get about 20 liters of water per day, not enough to meet the standards. We upped the amount to 60 liters per person per day, which will end up being approximately 3 million liters of water per day for the whole entire city. There will be 2 main water towers in the city centers on either side of the bridge. Each tower will store and supply enough water for the surrounding residents. The estimated cost for water treatment and distribution totals to $7.5 to $8 million.
Through our detailed plan and layout of the city of Neva, we have addressed all the important costs, resources, and facilities the people of Neva will need to live comfortably. Our goal is to not just develop a city, but to establish a prosperous, energy-efficient community.